Hi folks, welcome back to another episode of the Single Dad's Cookbook. Today we're going to be making pepper tea. Now for this you're going to need some type of beef. I've got rump steak there. You're going to need some honey, some soy sauce, pepper, bell peppers, an onion, a thumb-sized piece of ginger and some garlic as well. And you're going to need a little bit of corn flour. During this video, this is a Chinese style beef dish which is relatively simple to make and is extremely tasty. Through this video I'm also going to show you what not to do, and the reason for that is mistakes happen when we're cooking, and that's one of the great things about it. Chefs, and I am not a chef by any stretch of the imagination, but chefs always say that they strive for consistency and excellence, and us home cooks, we're just trying to make something tasty. So I'm going to show you, if you do make a little mistake, how to rectify it and what to do. So first of all, we're going to start off with the marinade. So I've just got that thumb-sized piece of ginger there, and I'm going to just cut it up into little pieces. You can grate it, it is completely up to you. And then I'm going to finely dice it, and I'm going to finely dice the garlic as well. If you are new to the channel and this is your first video, welcome. And if you do like what you see, by all means please think about subscribing. It costs you nothing at all, but it means the world to me, and it keeps me encouraged. Same with if you hit the like button. And this is all about just growing the community and making sure that we look after each other and we're eating good food at a reasonable price, especially in this current climate. And I have seen the shout outs for pork chops and more Scottish dishes, and slow cooker meals. The slow cooker meals will be on their way very, very soon. So I'm just popping the garlic and the ginger into a little dish there, just so I can keep it for later. And then we're going to move on to the bell peppers, and we're just going to chunk them up. You want them into bite-sized pieces. You don't want anything too small or too big. So again, all I do there is take the top off the bell pepper, and then I find a nice easy angle and just carve around it. This way, I always find that it makes it easier to sort of minimise the white in the pepper and minimise the waste of the pepper as well. And I'm just going to cut them up. So there you can see there, I've got them cut up. I'm just going to pop them into a bowl, and I'm going to use the white onion, and all I'm going to do, very similar, I'm going to just cut it across in half, then half again, and then I'm just going to cut it into thirds. So you've got nice little bite-sized chunks. And this is the reason for this, is for later on in the cooking, you want them to be cooked, but you want them still to have a bit of a crunch. So all I'm doing here, nice and simple, is I'm separating them out. Again, if you do it now, it saves time when you're cooking them. So it can be a bit of a faff, but trust me, it is better in the long run. Now onto the steak, and all I'm going to do is just a nice bit of rump steak, and I'm just going to thinly slice it, just like that, nice and simple. And I'm just going to cut that through. Any big chunks of fat I just removed. This is a dish where you want to just be able to eat the whole thing. So into a bowl, then in with that you want to add in half the garlic that you've chopped, half the ginger that you've chopped. Into this you want to then add, I'm using light soy sauce, just after this, but a good pinch or grinding of coarsely ground pepper, as it is pepper steak. And I'm adding probably 2 dessert spoons of light soy sauce. I'm going to add in 2 again dessert spoons of honey, and that's where, if you do it right, you'll get the nice caramelization on the beef when you cook it. And then I'm going to add in a little bit of corn flour just to thicken it up and make it stick, so when you're cooking it, it does form a little bit of a slurry. Again, I'm adding in maybe half. I probably added in a bit too much, to be honest. That was 1 dessert spoon. Maybe if I was doing this again, I'd maybe add in half a dessert spoon of corn flour. Then you're just going to mix it up. Now this can be done, and you can cook this pretty much straight away. I left mine to marinate for a little while, for when the kids came back from school, but you can get that straight in, and that we've got it wrapped and in the fridge. And that's all the prep work done. Takes about 5-10 minutes. Now onto the pan. You want your pan as hot as possible when you're putting this in, so always put 1 piece in first. Now, a little trick that I learned recently, and I share it with you guys: if there's anything raw that you're going to cook, so whether it be meatballs or mince, whatever it may be, or steak like this, you cook 1 piece first, a little bit of it, and then you try it once it's cooked. That way you know about if it tastes nice or not before you cook the whole thing, which I think is a great idea. Now, ideally, this is what you should do. Oh, fast forward a little bit. You should only do it in batches. If you leave it in batches, what will happen is it'll crisp up. Now, if you put too much in the pan just like that, it starts to steam and boil, and you can and it becomes more like a stewed steak. So what you don't want that. You want the honey to caramelize. So you do want to just do them in small batches. If you have put too much in the pan, it's one of 2 options. Just cook it out and let all the moisture come out of it. Turn up the heat a little bit and cook it through. Or take stuff out the pan. You're always better reducing because all you're doing is reducing the temperature of the frying pan. So little is better than overloading it and stewing the steak. Okay, then into the pan on a high heat is just the rest of the garlic, the rest of the ginger. Once that's coloured off a little bit, you're going to add in your vegetables. You just got to keep these guys moving, and what will happen is they'll start to get a little bit of a glisten on them. They'll take the flavour of the ginger and the garlic, and then what you want to do is, once you're happy with what you've got, and you just got to keep moving them so they don't stick and burn, they'll start to blister and they'll start to release their flavours. Once you've done that, you want to add in your beef, and you can take the beef, like I said, normally if it was just me that I was cooking this for, I'd have took that beef a little bit more caramelization, get the honey going, getting that crisped up, completely different flavour profile, but because it's for the kids, they're not a big fan of that. You can also add chilies into this, and that would be amazing as well. And that's it. You cook it through till everything's done, and then we're just going to serve it up into the plate. Now with this, you can serve it with the rice. I actually just served it with a couple of pita breads, and for them I'll show you a little thing that we do in this household, which I find them revolutionary. I kept cutting them sideways and having to take the top off, but I've started now making little pockets. So you get your pita breads. Again, I just throw them in the microwave for a minute just so that they puff up and get a bit flexible and malleable. and then just cut it in half. As easy as that, and it opens up and you've got a little pocket for all the goodness that you're about to put in it there. Guys, I hope you are staying safe out there. I hope you are all looking after yourselves and each other. From my family to yours, till the next time, thanks for watching. Single Dad signing off.